The first thing Elias Ward noticed about the planet Virexia was the gravity. It pressed into his bones like a reminder that humans were not meant to stand there. The second thing he noticed was the silence, thick, watchful, and heavy with judgment. Virexia was a death world by galactic standards, a place of crushing pressure, razor-edged storms, and predators that hunted by vibration alone. And at the center of its vast obsidian capital stood Elias, a single human contracted as diplomatic security, guarding an alien princess no one believed deserved his loyalty. Princess Saelith of the Virexian crown walked beside him, tall and willowy, her iridescent skin catching the dim crimson light of the palace corridors. Her species had eyes like polished onyx and voices that carried subtle harmonics, capable of calming or terrifying entire crowds. Elias had learned not to react when courtiers stared at him with thinly veiled contempt. Humans were fragile to them, soft-bodied, short-lived, and foolishly emotional. Today was worse than usual. The royal convocation was in session, and Saelith was scheduled to speak against the High Council's proposal to weaponize human colonies along the fringe. Elias had read the intelligence brief. There were factions within the palace who would rather see the princess silenced than allowed to undermine centuries of Virexian dominance. "Stay close," Elias murmured, his voice tight through the strain of gravity. Saelith glanced at him. "You always say that, Elias Ward." "And you always ignore me," he replied, a faint smile breaking through the tension. They entered the Hall of Continuance, a vast chamber carved from living stone, its ceiling alive with bioluminescent veins. The queen herself, Malthra the Eternal, sat upon the elevated throne, her presence radiating authority older than most civilizations. Around her gathered the council, their expressions unreadable. Saelith stepped forward to speak. That was when the floor screamed. Elias felt it before he saw it, a vibration crawling up his legs, setting every survival instinct on fire. The hidden weapon erupted from beneath the dais, a spined construct of living metal designed to impale anything above it. It was aimed not at the queen, but at Saelith. Elias moved without thinking. He shoved the princess aside and took the full force of the blast. The spines tore through his armor, through muscle and bone, lifting him off the ground before slamming him back down in a spray of blood. Pain exploded through his nervous system, bright and blinding. He heard Saelith scream his name. The construct retracted, its purpose fulfilled. Elias lay crumpled against the stone, his breathing shallow, each inhale a battle. Gravity crushed him harder now, his body failing under injuries that would have killed most humans instantly. The hall erupted in chaos. Guards surged forward. Counselors shouted. And the queen rose from her throne. Malthra descended the steps with deliberate slowness, her ancient eyes fixed not on the assassin's device, but on the dying human at her feet. She knelt, an act so shocking it silenced the room. "This one," she said softly, stood where no Virexian would. Saelith collapsed beside Elias, her hands trembling as she pressed them against his wounds, violet blood mixing with red. "He saved me," she whispered. "Please, do something." The queen's gaze sharpened. "Summon the healers. All of them." A counselor protested. "Your Majesty, he is human. His biology will not be an excuse." Malthra cut in, her voice resonating with command. He collapsed, defending the crown. I will not permit his death. Elias drifted in and out of consciousness as they carried him through corridors he could no longer see. He remembered heat, then cold. Voices layered over one another in alien tongues. Machines hummed, struggling to interface with a body never meant for Virexian medicine. His organs are failing, a healer said. The gravity alone. Adjust the chamber, the queen ordered. Match his Deathworld parameters. The healers hesitated. That would destabilize the palace core. Then let it strain, Maelthra replied. I will not lose him. For 3 days, Elias hovered between life and death. His heart stopped twice. His lungs filled with fluid adapted for alien respiration. Each time, the Queen ordered another impossible intervention, rewriting protocols, bending laws of biology, and forcing the palace itself to adapt around a single human. The galaxy watched. News spread faster than any official statement. A Deathworld human had shielded an alien princess with his own body. A queen had halted court proceedings, endangered her capital, and overridden the council to keep him alive. On the 4th day, Elias opened his eyes. The gravity felt lighter. He saw Saelith first, her eyes red-rimmed, her regal composure shattered. You're awake, she breathed, disbelief flooding her voice. Guess. I didn't do a very good job of dying, Elias rasped. She laughed, a broken, beautiful sound, and gripped his hand carefully. The queen refused to let you. As if summoned, Maelthra entered the chamber. Up close, Elias could feel the weight of her presence, even diminished by the adjusted gravity. You are difficult to preserve, human, the queen said. But you endured. Elias tried to sit up and failed. With respect, your majesty. I just did my job. Maelthra studied him for a long moment. No. You did what my people forgot how to do. You chose another's life over your own, without calculation. The council convened again a week later, this time under very different circumstances. Elias, still weak, stood beside Saelith as living proof of what had happened. The assassination attempt was exposed as an internal conspiracy, its architects stripped of rank and exiled to the outer systems. Then the queen spoke words that would echo across the stars. Let it be recorded, Maelthra declared, that Elias Ward of Earth is bound to the Virexian crown by debt and honor. His life is under my protection. His people are under my consideration. The chamber stirred. Alliances shifted in real time. Afterward, Elias found himself standing on a balcony overlooking the Deathworld skyline, Saelith beside him. You changed everything, she said quietly. He shook his head. I just made a choice. She turned to him, eyes shining. On Virexia, such choices reshape empires. Far above them, the storms raged as they always had. But for the first time in centuries, the Deathworld felt different. Less hostile, less absolute. A human had collapsed defending an alien princess. And because the queen refused to let him die, the galaxy would never be the same.